Hi. Well, I guess I'm back to making videos more frequently again. I guess I got over my insecurity because somebody said a bad thing to me on the internet. And I'm back to not caring what people think and just hitting record and doing stuff. Partially because, well, I make these for me because it's fun, and sometimes I can kind of look back on them and see some things I was doing that I want to change. And then I make them for some friends. Sometimes some of the other people I play with like to watch these videos to see how I approach a song, so that we can, excuse me, we can build parts together. Um, it really makes for a more solid unit. Um, so it's fun. So there's an Easter service coming up, and I'll probably be making maybe three videos of like playthroughs, really for some of the other people on the team to kind of see what I'm thinking. And really, I hope that like there's someone out there that maybe is just starting, like playing worship tunes or guitar in general, whatever. And they're like Googling one of these songs or YouTubing, same thing, same company. And they come across this and it helps them. I don't know, maybe there's something there that helps them approach the song a certain way, or maybe it just shows them a part that they weren't sure how to play, or it's in a key, and they're like, oh, I can't find this thing, um, and hear someone playing through it, even though like the tracks sound weird when I do that, like the one I'm gonna do here in a few minutes. So really, yeah, I make these to help people. I hope they do. Um, Ultimately, I hope they do. And I don't care if people don't like my weather report. It's cloudy and rainy today, if you're wondering. It's going to be cloudy and rainy for like the next 3 days. Okay, Hallelujah, here below. It's kind of an old classic for our church. We used to play it a lot. We haven't played it in a while. The trick is we've changed keys considerably. So sometimes, when you're playing a tune and they change the key up a whole step, maybe 3, not a big deal. We change just 5, right? So we're going from D, I think, original key, to G. And that changes where you play, like, this G is too deep, that one's too high, so you kind of got to play this one here. You got to play, let me do this. You got to play that G, pick up that 5, which I always like to do anyway, rather than, that one doesn't sound right. That one doesn't sound right. This is in between the two of them, right? Where before you would do a D and you could do, now you gotta, then you have this minor. So let me go over the chords first. So we're doing it in G. So it's the verse part is 6, 4. I sus that. Sus 2. 1. Then 6. 4. 5. 6. 4. 1. 6. And minors are always a 7th chord. 5. And then 1. But this time I hit this one. So it's second inversion G. There's the 5. And I stop short of the high E string, because that would be the next note in the chord, but it's too hard to hit. So that sounds good. So we do that. Then there's a little lead line thing. right? It's going to be, so that's G, G, and then that's the 3, and I think this is the 6. Yeah, that's a 6 to the 5, and then 6, 5, 4. So the cool thing about playing it here is you can let it ring. So before, we used to play it in D, so it'd be, you can't really let it ring much aside from the delay and reverb, but here you can let that ring. So little vibrato. And then next time it goes through the verse, I just accent things. Okay, so that's this G. So kind of let that ring, and then you want to hit this D because that's where he's ending. And the second time through, you go. Then you want to hit this G because that matches the vocal melody, right? It's going to harmonize with the vocal melody. And you go back to the first pattern, and you can just kind of let that ring as long as you hit that D. And then same thing. You just kind of let that ring, and now the chorus. So the chorus is 1/3. So that D, which is right, that's the 3. This is the G, right? This is the 3 of that chord. Then this C, 4, 1 to the 5, and then all right. And this is actually a 4/6. So technically, this chord is, so this is the 4, right? This is the 6. So technically, it's this. But for this, I'm letting the bass hit that, and I'm just gonna, I kind of hit the upper part of that. So it's. That's the whole chorus. Computer just went dark. Hold on. Got it? Okay. Oops. So that's the whole chorus. So do that whole thing multiple times. And then it goes to a drive part, right? So this is like, I guess it's the bridge. So I've been playing with my dirt stages and getting more like, hold on, my son's calling. Okay, I'm back. Dirt stages. So more distortion type stuff. Which has more treble than I would typically run because distortion is typically scooped, or it's scooped the way I'm running it. So when you come out of that part, right? Oops. Let's see. Then it builds. That's it. Here's where I had to change it a little bit. So without the drive, it's 1, 2, 1 over, 1 over 3, and then the 6, 5, 4, 1, 2, 1 over 3, 6. Okay, so this is the 1 with the 5 on top. Here's the 2. You gotta pick up this C, right? But I kind of like that one better. And then the 1 over 3 and the 6 are the same chord. Without this. The 6th chord, but leave it out for the 1 over 3. But really, you can pick up this octave to give it some bass. So instead of them doing, and then you pick up those high notes. So basically full chord, and then. Right? And then when you do this, the 1 over 3 is the high part of that chord. So you want to hit those and then go down here. And then kind of rake up. And you get that sus sound. It makes it sound pretty good. Blah 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 blah. That's chorus. Then it down bridge or chorus. Come out of that big. And then at the very end, this is hard to do in this key. So typically it would be. All right, so you go. That's the 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 6, 1, 2. It sounds okay. I'm hoping that when we run through it, the bass, you know. With this octave, it'll sound pretty good. We'll see. If not, I may have to change it. Maybe octaves. I don't know. We'll figure it out. All right. I'm going to play through. And again, I had to pitch it up. 6 half tones. 5 half tones. So it's going to sound wavy, and you're going to hear some modulation in there, and it's going to sound funny. But this is how you play a song. I always try to match the vocals. then that part that you let it ring comes after this. The end product doesn't sound that bad, but it's really high. It kind of sounds a little out of place to me. Go to that drive, I still have a compressor on, and it's too much, just a little bit. So I have to figure that out. A big part. Hold on. Okay, that's it. They just sing and play piano. I killed the drives. I forgot an important point. So the song is 3/4, and it feels like there's an emphasis on the 3 a lot. So let me use the chorus as an example. So one. So it's the rhythm is 1, 2. passing tones in there, right? So it's like passing tones meaning a chord that's only on there for one beat. So that's always one beat. One beat. 2, 3. That's that extra one that should be. God, that's weird fingering. But I just pick that up. So that's an important part. The 3/4. So it's 1, 2, 3. The accent kind of changes in my head. It depends on how I start counting it off in my head. But there's always an accent on like at the 3 or the 1. There's a lot of passing chords in there. So remember, if you miss them, it's okay. So I did it a bunch. So I could do 1, 2, 3. See, if I miss it. So this should be 1, 2, 3. But you would be 1, 2. And you'll be all right. It won't be so bad. Nobody's going to be screaming because you missed a chord. It's pretty decent. As of now, that's Hallelujah Here Below for me. I'm not sure about the drives quite yet. I like it. It sounds good in the mix. Maybe I have to listen back. We record our practices and then we can listen back. So I may listen back and see if it sits well. I think it's going to, even though it may sound over the top here. I think it's going to sit pretty well. But we'll see. Maybe I'll change it. That's it. See you later.